Hello, my name is Holly Flink. This is my special effects presentation. I can't be there in class to present it, so I made a little video. I did two effects. Both didn't come out the way that I wanted them to, but the point got across, like, this is something that I would like to see in a horror movie, as well as, like, this is something that I want to see just be a physical effect. I didn't have some of the stuff for some of it, like the elephant toothpaste, you need yeast, but all the stores don't magically have it because this whole virus put everybody's making bread and stuff, so it's really crazy. So this is my presentation. I have two special effects, like I said. This is the first one. It's just simple elephant toothpaste but without like yeast, so it's just vinegar and baking soda, which of course is what makes like the fake volcanoes like kids do for class. But if you add soap to it, it's what makes it more like elephant toothpaste. So we put vinegar, soap, and food coloring because that kind of gives you the color that you want. You can do a multitude of colors. I think we just put green in it. Oh no, he put another color. He put blue in it. It came out very green, so it must have put too much green in. And then we put the baking powder, and that's what gets you. Yep, it foams up. And as we were like standing there, I was like, it kind of looks like ectoplasm. So I think it would be a really cool ghost ectoplasm effect. Could be really cool for like a comedy horror movie or like just a horror movie in general. A really good ectoplasm for like the Ghostbusters. It just looks really cool, really like slimy. Could be used as an effect for like a monster too. He kept constantly adding baking soda for no reason. But yeah, it made such a really cool like gushing effect, and the foamy stuff just looks like ectoplasm. Looks like it also could be used as like nuclear waste if you want to do some sort of like movie like that. It definitely could look like bad water. So that's that. And then this was the next thing. Um, the video is really long, but I did this effect on my sister to make her kind of look dead like my picture. The string didn't really come out that well. You can't really see it. In person, it looks so much better. Same with the yellow. There's a lot of yellow on her that like just looks like yellow spots. But to me, it in person, it looked like it was infected. So it's like a burn. Um, it's sorry, I'm drawing a blank because I'm also watching the video. Uh, but yeah, it was pretty simple. So right about here, I would say you can go ahead and stop the presentation because it took an hour to film, and I sped it up as much as I could. If I speed it up anymore, I'll lose frames. So it was just a simple stitch effect. She has a pale face and dark purple under her eyes. So yeah, and then for the next part of the video, I'll just explain everything I'm doing, but you can stop the presentation right here. Hi, my name is Holly Flink, just in case you forgot. I'm just gonna continue talking about the process. So at first, I put little spots of latex on to hold the string down, and then I put the string down. It looks good in the starting phase, actually, in this video. Like on this side, you can see she's got a lot of hair. It kept getting in the way. But it just didn't come out very well. I didn't do like the stitching into the skin part, like covering the latex very well, because I just wasn't sure on how to do it. Probably should have like watched a video or something. And getting the string to like stay was really hard and took like a process. And then I didn't want it to go through her mouth like horizontal. That was a weird color change because I didn't want, like, you wouldn't be able to see it fall between her lips. So I changed it to going vertical instead, and tried to get the strings to go, like, with the verticalness so that, like, it went up and then down. But it didn't really work out very well. Took a lot of drying. A lot of latex to keep it there. It got a little messy around her lips, so it was pretty hard. Didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. It looked better, like I said, it looked better in person than, even in the pictures. It didn't look that good, but in person it actually looked pretty decent. I had to put a hat on her because her hair kept getting in her face. And she was like, the latex smells awful, and I was like, yep. And it was a constant, like, don't laugh and stuff. She actually gave me some notes. Let's see. It made her face feel tight. And some of the latex, so you can see without the red. Her hair constantly got stuck in it. I felt bad. She has really, 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 really long hair. And really thick hair, so. Then I think this part I had to take some, I had her put Vaseline on before I started the video, and she had it too far up on her face, so I decided to do something. So I had to wipe it off, sorry. So then I took the palest color that I had, and I put it on her face to make her look way more pale. And on hers, you can actually see it, like how pale she is, because my sister is always red in the face. She's got very rosy cheeks and really red face. So this just, like, made her look super, super dead. Looked really cool. I liked this part of it. The making her look pale looked really good. Had to go in with a brush later in between the strings because I didn't want to mess it up with the sponge. And so now I took the color wheel and I put purple and red. Oh, actually, no. I didn't do that yet. Did I do that? I think I was doing the other side of the string. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't remember. I did this yesterday. I think I was just covering. Oh, I am. I was just putting extra latex on because it was coming off. So yeah, I took red and I put the red on there. I made them really big, like they went to her skin really deep and really far. So I stretched them out, made them look. They look good right here too. I feel like if I hadn't done any more to it, it probably would have looked okay. The red still looks like a little strange, but it's not too bad. I also may be looking at it, instead of doing it like blood, like it's going into her face, do stitch marks instead. That might have also looked good. Since there was so much, like, the burn effect is so much, like, on her lower face, it probably would have been good just to have it be stitches instead of, like, red. So, like, you would see the break from, like, her pale face and the stitches to the burnt half of her neck and skin. The burns, I thought, came out really well, which we'll get to in a minute on how I did all that. Once I got all the red done on all of it, I got really tired, which is why I'm sitting, but I put purple into all of it. I think I put too much purple, and so from that I was like, okay, I don't want to put too much purple in. I don't want to do too much purple on her burn, and I think I put the right amount of purple, so just put some purple in to make it look bruised, maybe, like, dirty. And this is where I had to go back in with the pale color to get in between the stitches, and instead of doing it with the spun, I did it with the brush. I didn't, like, swipe the brush. I did splotching, like, with the sponge instead of wiping, just, like, patting. I did that with the brush so that it came with the same effect, because I couldn't get the sponge in there without like messing it up, so I did it with the brush. Went over it a little bit with the sponge to like remove some of the wetness of it so that it didn't, so there wasn't too much, and it blended in with the rest of her skin. I think at some point my mother came in to talk to me, and I was like, I'm busy. I was supposed to make dinner, and then I got hooked up on the project, and then, yeah. So, I'm doing the other side, and this part, because it was still wet, so I had to let it dry. My laptop kept turning off constantly because I was going to sleep mode, and I was like, I am in the middle of recording a thing. Excuse me, laptop. Alright. And now I went and bought more makeup, but it was the wrong type, so I went in instead with just the makeup I had. I got the lightest pink that we have in our makeup boxes that Sharon had given us. And I put it on her lips to make them look dead, but it ended up not mattering because you couldn't see it. Alright, so now we started the really long phase of, I also had to buy a new latex bottle, which is why I'm using this really weird bad brush, because the latex bottle I bought didn't come with a brush, so I needed more latex. I didn't have enough, but I just caked the bottom of her face. I tried to keep it away from the string because I didn't want it to overlap the string and not be able to see it, so I caked it all as close as possible to the string as possible, and just layered it on, let it dry, put a second layer on, let it dry, and then I put the tissues on. I tore up tissues and like covered it, because tissues kind of give you the best like gross burnt skin effect. Cotton balls are just too fluffy, so it looks more like boiling skin than burnt skin. And toilet paper has patterns. All toilet papers have patterns on them, except for like the really bad ones. I finally gave her notes to be able to talk to us. So I took the tissue and I tore it off. I tore pieces and put them all over and stuff. I had to get her to hold her hair back because I didn't want her get it in her hair, which I constantly did. I got it on me somehow, like on my neck, and I was like, how did I even do that? So I had to cake on the tissue, covered every part of the latex with it, and then covered the tissue with latex to give it the burnt effect. It really came out really good. I'm actually really proud of the burn effect because it came out really good. Everything else I'm not really too proud of. I think if I got rid of the stitches it would have been better. I think her chin was a little bit too much, but it wasn't terrible. The rest of her neck, though, looked really good. I kept getting latex on her shirt. She kept getting mad. My sister is funny like that. Yeah. This part was actually really satisfying to do, too. This part I kind of messed up on. I got too much tissue and I put it in that small part and it ended up folding and looking weird. Yeah, like that. And I got it a little bit too close, so I had to like pull it down. So it looked kind of weird in person. Looks kind of weird in the video too. I didn't really have a good recording setup. I don't really have a good recording setup. I'm not in Arizona. I'm in California. So I didn't have like the ability to go get a camera and set up like an actually good thing. So yeah, there's her burnt face, and then we had to let it dry a bit. Took a long time for it to dry. Just waiting. I can talk about, if you all watch the entire video, which you probably shouldn't. Probably should watch it later. I wish we did more special effects in movies now. Like, we do a lot of CGI. I just mean, like, special effects like the elephant toothpaste that I did. Like, that's a good effect because there's so much you can do with it, and it has so many uses. And the thing about it is that, like, it's practical. Oh, I got Eli in the camera. But yeah, so now anyways, I think we should do more because they look better the elephant toothpaste would look way cooler than CGI stuff. So now I went back to my color wheel and I took red. At first I was going to use the sponge, but then it was a bad plan. So instead I got my brush and just painted it on, and I filled in between the stuff. I'm thinking that maybe if I would have left like the stitches separate, the string separate, the stitches separate from the burns, it probably would have looked a little bit better. But the whole point was to make it look like her face had been cut in half, being the top part looks fine and the bottom part's all burned dead. But yeah, just caked on the red. This probably took the longest time because there was so much to fill in. I tried to cover up as much white as possible so that it looks like actual burns. Making sure everything's dry. Getting the red up there. Same with her lipstick. It ended up not being able to be seen because of the red. So I think that overall I probably should have just taken off the string and stitches and just done like the burn up to like below her nose. If you want to listen to music. Below her nose, and just done like a half and half burn and then be okay. I wanted to kind of make her look like a ghost. So she's like a ghost that was like a burn victim, which is pretty fitting for the shirt she's wearing because it's fire bending from Avatar: Last Airbender. She's already dealing with fire. My mom came in to ask me about dinner, and I was like, I'm busy. Oh my gosh. I didn't really... The only thing that I had the ability to do was speed this up and record my voice over it. And do transitions. And the transitions kind of just came with the photos. I'm not really using an editing software right now. So, it was just like, transitions? And I was like, yes. I'm using I don't even know, it's some dumb free thing that I found online. Yeah, so I put the red down all the way around her face. It looks really cool, in all honesty. I like the effect, I just kind of did a poor job at it. So then, this is the part that makes it look really good. I took the purple, and I just patted it on. Didn't cover up much of the red, but see now she turned. It looks so much more like a burn than before. Like the purple just made the skin look dead and burnt. Which like watching Grey's Anatomy, it's kind of what burnt skin look like, and like some of their effects look like that. Like it's got the red, but it also has like some black or like purple or whatever for like the dead skin that they're peeling off. So it looks it looks really good. I got the purple on like the bits of the cotton, and it definitely brought out the idea that she's burnt out a lot better than before with just the red. So now she like actually looks like she's got burnt skin, and some of it looks worse than others and whatnot, and it looks really good. So that's when I took the yellow, because I wanted it to look infected, like gross and whatnot. So I took the yellow and I put it in spots and I kind of like smeared it out. But the yellow just looks so strong on camera. In person, the yellow didn't even look that strong. I also took a black pencil here and like went over the string with it, because you couldn't really see the string. It looks a little bit better now. A little bit. You can tell like there's definitely supposed to be a string there now, but it's not too great. Filled in some more red spots that I had missed. Oh no, I'm doing the yellow. I missed a part by her lips, which is why I thought that's what I was doing. But yeah, so now I'm putting the yellow to try and make it look like her skin's actually like gross and disgusting. And like in person, it didn't even look that like dark or like stupid looking. It actually looked like her skin was like infected, and like the yellow spots were like gross infected skins. But in this, that one might have been a little bit too much. But then I got like her whole cheek here, because I wanted like a big section of it. But it didn't look too bad in person, but on this very, very terrible camera it does. So then I took purple very light purple. I didn't really add any like stuff to it that I already had, and I put purple around her eyes and lightened the purple with the already like pale skin coloring. But I put purple around her eyes to make her skin look dead, or to make her like her eyes sunken in, so that she looked more ghostly. I kind of am mad at myself. I like for the longest time I stood there like looking at it, going, okay, what else should I do? And I just couldn't figure it out. So that's all that I did. But like, any suggestions for anybody who's watching still, which probably nobody is, but is that I wish I would have done more. And then, unfortunately, I only had enough purple on the sponge to do one eye, so I had to dab some of the sponge in the purple just barely, which made the left eye darker than the right eye, and then I had to like fix it and stuff. But the purple in her eyes looked really good. Oh, that's where I fixed the red. So there we go. She looked gross. She looked dead. She almost looked, yeah, she almost looked like the picture that I wanted, but yeah, she definitely looks really gross now, really good. So yep, that's it. So thank you for watching. That's the whole thing. If you stayed through the whole video, I don't know why, but that's the whole process of how I did it, and that's the whole process. If anybody has suggestions on how I could have made it better, let me know, because I struggled really hard with the string stuff. So thank you for watching.